Fort Butler and the Cherokee removal of 1838. Fort Butler, located on a nearby hilltop, was the Army headquarters of the Cherokee removal in North Carolina. Tennessee Mounted Volunteers established the camp as Camp Huntington in 1836. The volunteers occupied the post, which consisted of a single log blockhouse with a few log barracks buildings, through 1837. In the spring of 1838, the U.S. added a palisade wall, officers' quarters, a hospital, offices, and other buildings. Brigadier General Abraham Eustis and his staff took command of the post on June 2nd, 1838. The 1st and 4th U.S. Artillery Regiments, along with companies of the 3rd Regiment of North Carolina Volunteer Militia, camped nearby. So in essence, in the 1800s, a bunch of state and federal troops began the mass arrest of Cherokees in North Carolina, and a lot of these Cherokee prisoners were brought directly from their homes to Fort Butler, and others went to a temporary detention at Forts Lindsay, Montgomery, Delaney, Hembry, or Camp Scott before coming to Fort Butler. And these prisoner camps at Fort Butler spread north and east to the fort, as many as 1,500 Cherokees at a time awaited transport to the immigration depot at Fort Cass in Charleston, Tennessee. It was during June and July of 1838 when more than 3,000 Cherokee prisoners from North Carolina and North Georgia passed through Fort Butler at the beginning of the westward exodus along the Trail of Tears to Oklahoma. So Murphy, North Carolina was a passing point in where Fort Butler is for the Cherokee Indians. Very sad part of history, but this is Murphy, North Carolina. Let's get it. Good afternoon, good people. This is your boy P9, and I'm here in Murphy, North Carolina. Murphy, North Carolina is a town in and county seat of Cherokee County. So it is the westernmost county seat located in the state of North Carolina. So this is Murphy, located in Cherokee, North Carolina. And I start this video over here by United Methodist Church, as you can see right here. But I'm right here in downtown Murphy. Now Murphy was established in 1835, not long after the removal of the Cherokee native tribe in the, the Trail of Tears and everything like that. But prior to the establishment, this was the home of the Cherokee people. And as Murphy is located at the confluence of Hiwassee and Valley Rivers, the Cherokees long made their homes along the Hiwassee River. And there are a lot of vintage shops. As you can see, one right here downtown Murphy, North Carolina. A lot of antique shops and boutiques and mom and pops. Here's some artwork over here in this little park right here. This painting right here is called Good Morning by Louisa Brown. This one is called The Meadowlands by Janice Kennedy. This one's called Sunflowers by Lupina Hoy Haney. Then you have your map right here of downtown Murphy. So we're right over here downtown, and there goes the Hiwassee River right there. Cooked and Captured by Rosa May. So it's a picture of a painting of a fish. Evening at the Fair by Jim Alsop. And Ducky by Bill Belen. Okay. So population wise, Murphy only has a little over 1,600 people, so it's extremely small town. Now would you look at there, they actually have a Peachtree Street right here in Murphy. And this right here is the Cherokee County Historical Museum, Indian and Early Pioneer Museum. So it's part of the Trail of Tears National Historic Trail and the Cherokee Heritage Trail. And there goes the bear right here as well. They have a nice little garden out here in the front of it. And this building right here is the Cherokee County Courthouse.
But I'm also sure that's how everybody feels about me. That's usually how the younger sibling is. Oh my God. No, you thought mom. So mom used to think I was back, right?
Try to make it to the other side of the street over there.
This is a community. All folks.
This establishment right here is the Murphy Art Center. as you can see right here. And this site right over here was a site of a Cherokee War. Major George Chicken of South Carolina led the first English military expedition against the Cherokee in this area, and this was in 1715. It's just a little memorial monument for all the veterans from Cherokee County who passed away in each of the major world wars. Of course, they have a series of other paintings over here. And now we got a pub. We got the Parsons Pub right here. Chinatown Buffet. Nature inspired gifts over here. And they have a theater across the street called the Hen Theater. And a steakhouse, it's a huge steakhouse too. It's called Legend Steakhouse. So we got a little something going on in this town of 1600. Native American gifts and accessories right there. Jan's Needful Things. Jan's Needful Things right here. You got this right here. This little mural of Bigfoot and Littlefoot, I guess. I guess that's what this is. But it's by Connie Odell. May 5th, 2024. So this mural was put up 4 months ago. Okay. So that's all for Peachtree Street. I'm gonna head down Hiwassee Street and I'll be back momentarily. At the corner of Hiwassee and Railroad Street, I am over here at the Murphy L&N Depot. So this is the rail station in Murphy along the Southern Railway. as you can see right here. And here's a couple of passenger cars of the Southern Railway, and they sit right here on this railroad. So if you come over here, you'll get basically, you can get an audio tour right here if you scan this QR code. But right over here just gives you a marker that gives a history of the first train into Murphy, North Carolina, and this was in 1888. Beginning in 1873, the state of North Carolina began construction of a rail line to carry passengers and freight from Asheville westward. The line took many years to construct, cutting across the mountains through tunnels and along steep grades of the terrain. The first train to come through Murphy was the Marietta and North Georgia in 1888. Freight trains continued to run through Murphy until the early 1980s. The L&N, Louisville and Nashville Railroad opened operations in Murphy, North Carolina in 1888 and continued its operations until the early 1970s. The Southern Railroad came down to Murphy in 1899. Its station located on the bottom of Depot Street. That station burned down in 1968, but Southern continued its operations here until the early 1980s. So the old L&N line, which is Louisville and Nashville, trestle supports still stand in the Hiwassee River by the depot. You can follow the river walk to the steel trestle bridge over the Valley River, which still stands. So this is the last steam powered locomotive to leave Murphy in 1953. And right over here, it was the summer of 1961. This is where the generals arrived at the depot in Murphy. And it was a show horse locomotive, as you can see right here, captured by Andrew's Raiders during the Civil War and recovered by its crew during the Great Locomotive Chase by the workhorse locomotive. So here's where we are right here. This is Hiwassee River, and we're right here at the Louisville and Nashville depot. So Murphy was part of the Louisville and Nashville Railroad track. Interesting that especially when you consider that these railroads were built through the terrain of the mountains. I know that was extremely tough to build a railroad track, to run a railroad track through mountainous terrain. City of Murphy. But they do have a trail along the river. We're going to see if we can get over there. It's called the Murphy River Walk. So this is essentially like a nature trail, but it's a river trail. So, which is practically the same thing. But this is the Hiwassee River Walk. And it's right by the railroad tracks that service the L&N, the Louisville and Nashville Railroad. So as you can hear the peaceful stream of the river, peaceful flow of the river. I just had to come check it out. You know, in every river city, at some point in time I have to get close to the river, if not on the riverfront itself. So I'm glad I had a chance to get to that here in Murphy. So I'm gonna continue down Hawassi Street back into downtown. And I think that building over there is also a station. It's like a station house or something to that effect. So you can park over here. As you can see right here, it's a Riverwalk L&N Depot trailhead. So you can park right here and just walk alongside the trail to the river. Chevelle's, like a restaurant and a bar. Chevelle's look like a pretty poppin' place here in Murphy. And they also have a pizza and salad buffet right here called Downtown Pizza Company. So in a nutshell, this is Murphy, North Carolina. It's a very small town. So that concludes this vlog. And yours truly will wrap things up right here. But that in mind, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell, so that way you get your notifications when your boy drops another vlog. And also, if you like the video, please like and share. With that in mind, this has been another P9 production. Thanks again for watching, and see you guys on the next one. Peace and have a great weekend.